Hello, everyone. My name is Sir Laughlot, or my friends call me Laughy, and welcome to a YouTube video. I know we don't do these very often, but look at this beautiful number right here. Days played 1005. We have hit 1000 days in this world, guys, which is really cool. So, what we're going to do about it is a good old-fashioned world tour. Oh no, I broke that rose. Old-fashioned rose tour. It's a good thing I'm in a backup, guys. Whoopsie doodle. Alright, so let's do a fly around, shall we? So I figured we'd start off with the vision. With what we want to do, what the story is we want to tell in this world. We came over that hill right over there, and we found this valley that wasn't quite split by a river, but was close. And I just saw two rival towns on either side of the river who hate each other. That was all we saw at that point. We didn't know build palette, design style, anything like that. Whereas now we know that this is the farming town, and this over here is going to be the industrial steampunk town. Now, we haven't started on any of that yet, because that's a bit more mid-game, and we're still very firmly in the early game. But let's do a quick little squiz over everything that we've built so far in this area. Obviously, it's not all perfectly built and finished up, but you know, we've got our community center and town square and the community graveyard. We've got the start of our panda sanctuary over here. But I think it's time to delve into the details, don't you? Here we have our starter house, our farmhouse. This has done us very well. It is honestly a really fun build. I'm not super happy with how the brick blends into all the dirt on the mountainside here, but you know, other than that, it's pretty dang cool. So, let's start with the main build itself, shall we? So we've got our balcony, our deck, our work area up here, lots of custom trees and a custom axolotl pond, with our homeboy, of course. Well, here we have Kip. Where's our homeboy? Here's Chocolate Beans, our homeboy of homeboys. And we also have the famous carrot up here. But let's walk on up. So yeah, as I mentioned before, we've got our deck area. With our kind of work area, we can fill these to undye things. We've got our stone cutter, anvil, a lot of workstations that we need. And we've got some hanging plant pots and stuff. I'm a big fan of using fence gates as fences instead of fences. We've got our little welcome mat here, which I think is just hilarious. Then we move on in, and this is the kind of entrance area. We can look down into our sitting area, over to the fireplace. We've got our beautiful lamp. We've got a thing to toss your keys into. We've got Shelby, the mischievous cat, sitting on the table. And this is our dining kitchen area, something that I am pretty proud of, to be quite frank. It's one of my favorite dining kitchen areas I've done. It feels really open and cozy at the same time. We've got the cabinetry, we've got a knife and a chopping block, we've got furnaces on the floor, which are still our main furnaces at this point. We've got ender chest, crafting table, chests to work with. We've got our larder, which this is one of my favorite interior decorating tricks. I love it to bits. And then I've used the trick that Impulse showed in his Season 9 Hermitcraft, and used the upside down barrels as just a little bit of a lining. Oops. Between the kitchen and the rest of the house. We ignore this. So we have our fireplace here, nice and cozy. We've got a place to put our hot pokers, a nice little like display area for art. We've got our sofa, which I sleep on far too frequently. And this is our nice little balcony that looks out over our beautiful, beautiful town. Now, we've got a little bit of a cozy nook, but I think it's time for the upstairs, don't you? And here we are in the top floor, everybody. So we've got a nice little storage nook in here as well. It's not a huge amount of space up there anyway. We've got our little storage nook as we had before. We've got a nice big seating area, the primary seating area, if you will. We have some art, because our buddy Heinrich is an art lover, if you will. He's got a nice little reading nook here. We can look out through the big window or look down into the smaller sitting area. And then the master bedroom. We have our beautiful Winston here, hero of the village, if you will. We have our wardrobe, which has absolutely nothing in. We have our big master bed, which I like to reward myself in when I complete a build. Usually I sleep on the couch. And then we have the desk of the mighty Heinrich. And his journal. Heinrich's journal. If found, please return to Heinrich. Also, don't read it, Barbara. Day 1. This marks me first day in this kind little town. There's some animosity towards the folk across the river, but they seem nice enough. Day 10. Barbara's been hitting on me quite severely. I know she's happily married with children, and I really don't wish to go in the ire of it, you know. Also, she's kind of cruel. I've got no real interest in her. Day 15. Folk across the river tried to sell me some advanced farming contraptions. I'm happy with my answer. I've ground some solid wood. Don't need any gizmos to keep me happy. Day 33. Still await the day that Peyton comes to town. Should be here soon. It'll be nice to have my childhood best friend around again. The people here are lovely, but Barbara's getting on me nerves. And yeah, we're slowly putting in little bits of lore and stuff like that, and creating story and world building throughout this place, which I absolutely love. But I don't know about you, but do you think it's time to go to the storage room? Do you, Winston? Do you? Ooh, that's a good boy. And here we are in the basement. This is our storage room. Now, don't let the chaos mislead you. There's actually a lot of organization and method to the madness here. So this is our miscellaneous area. And we have dyes here next to the flower pot. And this is just our little storage nook. This is for miscellaneous stuff, and the more we kind of build that up, the more this area will fill. We have our like potion alembic area here. So we have our potions, we have our ingredients, and we've got a couple brewing stands for us to work with. This one just stays with Netherwalk, creating awkward potions so that it's easier to brew when I need to. This area right here is the decoration area. So we have light sources, miscellaneous decoration. Why is there a shear in there? There's no point in me moving it. I'm in a backup. Banners, utility workstations, utility blocks. Then we have tools and armor. This is like miscellaneous tools. We have armor. We have like pickaxes and stuff. And we have weapons, sweet, beautiful weapons. We have our treasure nook. So this is for books. This is music discs. And this is all the rest of our treasure. This is our end storage. So we've got a bunch of endstone from clearing out an island for our Enderman farm. This is our nether. So this is Crimson Forest, Nether Waste and Fortress, Assault Delta, Soul Sand Valley, and Warped. We have our redstone area. So this is for components. And this is for the redstone itself, which shoots up a minecart rail, and the minecart rail itself is, of course, for rails. Here are our mob drops. We have hostile, we have passive, and we have woolen carpet. This is nature. We got flowers, miscellaneous, saplings, lush cave stuff, and leaves. We have our wood nook, which I personally love, and the whole inspiration for this nook, as well as this whole style of storage system, comes from Pixel Riffs and his second season of the Survival Guide. Thoroughly recommend it. So this area here is for all the log types. This is for all the miscellaneous stuff like buttons and signs. This is for planks, slabs, and stairs. And this is our ores. And then our kind of building blocks are in the middle. These have less method to the madness. And yeah, that is our storage room. We've got ender chests and crafting tables fairly frequently abound, so that it's pretty easy to use. And this is my favorite storage room I have ever had. But I think that's the interior, so let's head on out to the landscape. Here we are, back out the front. So, as we mentioned before, we've got this beautiful, like, three-tiered axolotl pond. I had a great time putting this together. We have some some small little custom trees here. Then we have a couple big trees around here, including our good friends, Mumbo and Green. And we've got this nice little kind of wall and mud brick path going along. We have our wheat cart. This is, I think, the first big tree we built in this world. And then this is my favorite tree I've built in this world. This is the apple tree, and I think it looks beautiful. This was on our journey to get better at building custom trees, specifically oak ones. I've always had a hard time building oak custom trees, and I'm really happy with where we've ended up with in this world. So we've got like a barrel of apples, we've got some fallen apples on the ground. Over here we have a well, and we have the guardian of the well, Steve. Steve is very important to us. Now here we have the outhouse, very important, very important. Just a little simple contraption that allows us to throw our stuff out. So you just do that, and yippee-ki-yay. And, you know, the most important thing that we can do is somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I will never not do that joke, guys. Like, it's not gonna happen. I'm never not gonna do that joke. And don't try to ask me. Ah! But then we have our fields. This here is our cactus farm, and is meant to be a kind of like grain silo. It's a bit more grand than that, but we've got a ton of cactus and not very much bone meal. And I don't know, I really enjoyed designing this thing. I think it was really cool, really nifty. These are our other grain silos here. This is where we store beetroot in here, carrots and potatoes in this one, sugarcane, pumpkins, and melons in this one. And I think it looks really, really cool. And then we've got our small little trees, our big trees again, and then the most important part of the town, the tax office. I know, it's definitely the most important. So, because of the lore and backstory of these two towns hate each other, but they need each other, it means they need to have bridges across the river, and obviously they're going to be heavily monitoring and charging them on what comes in of their town. So we have our watchman up here, who is our Fletcher. And we have 3 farmers, but I am going to change these guys to cartographers, who keep an eye on everything that's coming in. Tax ledger, January 1, 182. Scumbags McGee, 1 shipment of copper, 32 emeralds, taxed. And then this here is the Spite Bridge. This is one of my favorite things I've ever built, and I was cackling like a goblin the entire time I was building it. So, this bridge was not the bridge that was always here, as you can see by the carved in grooves from like wooden logs that used to be here. It used to be a wooden bridge that was built by the farmers, and then that kind of fell into disrepair. And the steampunk town were like, "Hey, we're gonna do a good thing. We're gonna build a bridge out of fortified stone so it won't break. Isn't that great of us?" But then they did everything in this bridge to annoy the farming town. One, it's a lot more elaborate and over the top than what these guys, the farming town, think is necessary at all. Two, we have this lip on top, which caps how high they can pile their carts. So they can't try and because the steampunk town, well, they charge by how many cartloads come through. And so this means that they can get more money from tariffs because the farming town can't overly pile up their carts. But the most important thing is this bridge is wider than the established road of the farming town. So, as you can see here, they had to hastily remove this pillar of the watchtower and try and support it some other way. There's like trampled ground and stuff around, and honestly, it makes me laugh so hard. You can see where like carts have like been going through and stuff, in obviously the most malicious way possible. And it's very, very funny to me. But we have a wheat field, carrot, potato, beetroot, of course, peony, lilac, sugarcane, pumpkin, and melon. Now, I think that's mainly it for the farming area, so let's head over to the barn. Alright, I'm at survival. Here we are at our animal area. Here we have our barn, which I think looks really cool with the mangrove, the spruce, and the birch in there. I think the birch and the mangrove goes really well together because the mangrove has this like yellowy, kind of vanilla ice creamy kind of tone in there, which I really, really like. In here we have our cows, we have our sheep, and up here we have our storage for that stuff. So we have storage for mutton. We don't store our wool in here, but we do have our storage for beef as well as leather. And the more these chests fill up, well, we got plenty to fill it with. Now, obviously, I haven't finished fully decorating the trees in this area, but here we have our chicken coop. Now, this chicken coop on top is purely decorational. Purely decorational. I do quite like how it looks, but it's purely decorational. I think it looks pretty good, though. We've got the chicken coop in here. We've got some, like, hay and stuff on the ground. We've got some bird nests with eggs in them. We've got some seeds for them, a water bath. But the important part of the chicken coop is down below. Here we have the chicken pit 2.0. Let's turn this guy on, shall we? So what we have here is a 5x5 pit that will fill with chickens. There is a minecart, upper minecart that runs underneath that collects the eggs and continues to refill the pit. But the problem with this concept, as I'm sure many of you know, is if you have a large pit full of chickens that is completely recycling, you will crash your world. So this is a little bit over-engineered. So let's throw ourselves into free cam mode and look at that beautiful man. So here we have the collection system, as you'd expect. And here we have extra cedar chickens, just in case we run out of eggs, which is not going to happen now. It's fully backed up. And then the drops shoot out of here, up into here, and into a sorting system, where we sort out meat, chick feather, and eggs. and then this is overflow. Now, the most important part about this circuit is right here. So this will detect when anything goes through the line that contains raw chicken, and it will lock the system. It will stop eggs. It'll stop eggs from being shot out from here, and it will turn this light on here so we know it's time to kill the chickens. And the point of that is once the pit gets too full, they will entity cram. And then when one of them dies from entity cramming, we know we don't want the pit to be any fuller. So then we stop the system. And then we come in, we kill them, get a ton of XP. Lol. But we've got a good amount of feathers, good amount of chicken, and a ton of eggs. And the supply for the eggs actually goes from underneath this row of hoppers. So the backup that goes into the chest also goes into here. But yeah, that is the chicken pit 2.0. And is very good for butchers. We have another big custom tree here. Over here we have our pig pen, which I'm actually really proud of. I really love this pig pen. So we have lots and lots and lots of pigs. We have the guardian of us all. Hello, Daddy Pig. We've got an undercover area for them where there's lots of like hay and stuff for them to sleep in. There's a water bath. There's some potatoes and stuff there. We've got a nice like muddy area for them to play around in. And I don't know. I'm a big fan of this build. We've got some ventilation areas, so it will be all the smell can get out. Same within the barn. Then attached to the barn, we have our stables, which currently we only have one horse, which is Sparkles. Hey, Sparkles. And then we have our definitely not a prison, definitely just a rabbit hutch. Hutch. Let's go in there. So they've got some nice place where they can rest. We've got some food for them, and we've got that little like water thing that you see in rabbit and hamster cages where they go, you know. It's a nice place, and it's definitely not a prison. They're definitely not trying to get out. Not at all. This here is just the entrance to some caves where we have some quarries, but there's nothing particularly interesting down there. Here we have a sheep farm of my own design. These are all white sheep, and then they all, instead of there being hopper minecarts, they're actually glitched inside of glass. And so the wool, when they get harvested, will actually shoot all the way up through the blocks, into this water, down into these hoppers, like that, and into this chest. And I'm planning to have another 4 of these towers for all the different colors of wool. But I still haven't decided how I want to decorate the build yet, so I will wait on that for a moment. Then over there, that's the greenhouse. I think it's time for some fast movement! Yay! This is our greenhouse that we've been working on the last few streams. We've got a temporary vine farm here, just so we can get lots of vines on this thing. I usually don't like building with vines, but this one needs it. It's not quite in the same style, per se, as the rest of the town, but I'm okay with that. I really like it. We've got this big, steep roof, and we're slowly getting vines all over the place. I want to get a lot more moss in as well. But currently the middle part is pretty bare in interior. But in here we have a manual bee farm for us to get honeycomb mainly, but occasionally some honey bottles. And in here we have a flower harvesting area. So we've got all 4 of the 2 tall towers, not towers, the 2 tall flowers here for us to be able to gather up. And then if we grab ourselves some biggity baggity bone meal, I can throw that in here. And then we can turn on a flower farm. Now this doesn't have any item collection. Wow, that is loud. That's better. Doesn't have any item collection, it's just for us to walk around and collect everything. But this gets us all the basic flowers that you get from a place. So that's oxeye daisies, azure bluets, cornflowers, poppies, and dandelions. One, this is great for dyes, but also, for me, the main thing I love about it is flowers for decoration. And this is pretty simple. We've just got the lever here, which goes under there. And then we've just got this pushes an observer in, which will pulse this way, which will go around, and it's just a clock that goes through like that. The observer will detect the redstone in front of it, and it'll put out the pulse, and it just goes round, and the target blocks just direct the signal into the pistons. Which are, well, they're under these carpet, but then this is just a blank spot. But I think it's time, that's pretty much all the finished projects. Let's head on over to the community center, shall we? Here we are at the future site of the town square and community center. We've got a lot of plans for this area. This is going to be the main town square, and it's going to look awesome. Here will be our candle shop. Here will be our butcher. Here will be our pub. Here we will have our bakery. Here we have our fortune teller, our B&B with the stables, and then the flower shop. And then down here will be a traveling book wagon, which will house our unbreaking and our mending villager. And instead of having a permanent place for them to live, they're like traveling, kind of like a traveling library that goes around from town to town, to village, to help keep people educated. And we're just going to have a nice little garden in the middle here, no fountain. Up here we have the beautiful Jelly. Hey, Jelly. And this is mainly still in just framing. What is this? Raised walkway. Okay. We have a big map back here, which we are slowly working on filling out of the world around us. This will be a meeting room. This is the main auditorium, and this would be like a stage for a theater. In here will be the main lobby, and then a raised walkway that goes around the whole auditorium here, and then down into the meeting room. Down here will be backstage. This will be the wings. And then we will also have, under here, we're gonna have some like underground like nooks for like storage, maybe some micro farms, things like that. Then around here we have our Halloween viewer graveyard, which on the stream where we built this is when we hit the 1,000-day mark. And we built a graveyard purely by your contributions. You could contribute to get different tiers of graves in here. The smallest tier you could get through channel points, but generally it was through bits, it was through gifted subs, and it was through donations. And I absolutely love this place. If you haven't watched the stream, I fully recommend it. I'm going to throw it into a card right about here, if I remember. But we've got a bunch of graves, we've got a couple crypts, and we've got some nice graves and like bigger ones. I love this this one for Ricky that's up on the hill here. I think it looks amazing. I'd love to come in here, do some more detailing down the line, do some actual custom trees. But that'll come when we do all the detailing in this area. And then over here we have the Panda Sanctuary, or what will be the Panda Sanctuary. It's coming along slowly, very, very, very slowly, but got this kind of stair-stepping kind of steps kind of thing, which is going to be like a nice water feature flowing down. Then I want to have like a nice, cool like jungle gym kind of thing for them to play on, an undercover area, and things like that. And I'll probably have like the like panda keepers. home like here, something like that. But yeah, I think that's everything for the town. Let's just do the last few little bits of our infrastructure. Alright, I'll see you over there, guys. Alright, we're just going to quickly talk about our nether hub here. At the moment, it's very temporary and very small. This here goes up to the roof of the nether, and down this way is our netherite mine. We have 4 cardinal directions. This room will grow much bigger, and the tunnels will grow much fancier. And I want to design each tunnel over the 4 elements from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So we might have the air tunnel, the fire tunnel, the water tunnel, and the earth tunnel. And then I want a massive room here, which is going to be kind of around like the Avatar state slash the kind of spirit realm, which I think is going to be really, really cool. But let's head down one of these tunnels, and I think it's time to go to the end, don't you? So here we are at our Enderman farm. Now this isn't the kind of Enderman farm you're probably used to. This is relying on us looking at the Enderman. We've completely flattened out this island. Can I look at them in creative? I sure can't. We've flattened out this island, and we still need to finish clearing out these chests of endstone. And then, so what happens? They charge at us. They can't get up here. They can't get in here. And they fall down in here. And the important part about that is that they don't block our eyesight, so you can keep looking at everyone. In here is our like little enchanting area. Nothing particularly fancy. I do want to decorate this area, and that there is the footbridge over to the end gateway that we came from. Usually I'd fly, but we've recently lost all our gear, so I don't have elytra anymore. But let's just do a quick little test of this bad boy. So if we pop in a survival, I mean, I can look at these guys. Look at these guys. Now the sound will be very quiet, and that is, I've done that for you. Done that for you. Now I'm not going to bother doing all of them, because I don't necessarily need the XP. We're just demonstrating how this all works. We head down here, and we swipe, 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 and swipe away. We swipe, 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 and swipe all day. We swipe away the Enderman. Swipe and swipe all day. We swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe. Stop running away. But anyway, it works pretty well. From one go over of the farm, I usually get enough to send me back to the next enchanting table. But yeah, that is that. Let's head to our ghast farm, I think. So this here is the ghast graveyard, if you will. This is our ghast farm and our source of gunpowder that we have in the world. So what we do is we throw our bow into our offhand, we hold our looting sword, and we shoot these guys, getting the looting effect from our sword while being able to shoot them from range. And then we usually hang around for about 4 minutes or so, and then we come in and collect the drops. And we come here fairly regularly to try and keep our rockets and our TNT supplies stocked up. But that's the ghast farm. It works by we can see through the bars, but they can't destroy them. Obviously, they can spawn on here. The torches are to prevent Endermen and skeletons from spawning. And then they are given just enough space to spawn, but then they can't get out because they are 5 blocks wide. So they can't actually fly out of here, so they kind of get stuck. And that's how this farm works. It's pretty simple. We do want to do some upgrades down the line. It's done us very, very, very well. I think it's time for the Blaze Farm. Now here, this is our Blaze Farm. Now you might think, farm? This is no farm. And you're probably right. You are probably right. But let's throw our armor on. Let's do that, but let's pop into survival mode, and we do some killing. Now what you'll notice is they'll start throwing fire at us. But So we don't have fire tick on, because I hate playing with fire tick on. So this shifting floor we have here, it prevents the fires from being able to stay. So let's see if we can get them to throw a fire on the ground. There, see, it immediately got, like, taken out. Immediately got taken away. And it, you know, it seems very over-engineered, but really what do I do isn't. I love me some good over-engineering. So we've got a shifting floor down here. Fairly simple in how it works. We've got a good amount of delay back there, and just shoots, and then after a little while, pushes back. Nice and simple. Out here, we have our not so great foyer, and this is just the switch that turns that all on. But yeah, trying to think if we have anything else to show in this world. I don't think so. So let's head back to our beautiful home, and we will wrap off, shall we? So that's it for our 1,000-day world tour. I hope you all enjoyed getting to have a look around. Some bits I went into a lot of detail, some bits I didn't go into enough. But you know, I'm a streamer, not a YouTuber. What do you expect from me? But no, I absolutely adore our world, and I could be here forever. It is my happy comfort place. I feel happy and cozy and comforted here in this world. So I hope you really enjoy and like everything we've put together over this 1,000 days, and you're excited for what we can do with the next 1,000. I will probably do another world tour at the 2,000 mark, because hopefully we'll have achieved some really good things by then. Because obviously in Minecraft, the first, first few hundred days are often spent in just really early game grinding. At least for me. But I've had a great time touring around our world with you. I hope you have had a wonderful, wonderful time. My name is Sir Laugh-A-Lot. All my friends call me Laughy. And I truly hope you have a wonderful day. I love every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. Good night.